Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Monday. TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. Let's see what we got going on here this morning. You can see there's the dollar index on a daily. Oh, let's get off the chat line too. A couple of weeks ago, the whole Monday was a rock and roll from start to finish. That was so cool. I like that. Let's see. Here we go. And there we are. And nothing on the chat line yet. Okay, so we go from starvation to being fat to back to fat to starvation. All right, that's life. As you can see, we have a tent up on the screen on Chicago Quant. Let's move it over to the chart. Let's see, dollar index. Dollar index, where are you? Right there. There's dollar index up firm, nothing the last 3 days. You can see Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Monday. You can see pretty much closing right around the same areas. It's right now it's just hanging out here. That's the dollar index. You see over here on Chicago Quant, on J4X, you can see the blue line has broken underneath the fast, but we're still got all those green hinky ashkies. So it's showing, there's definite buying going on. At the same time, you can see over here on our weekly, just refuses to change. Now let's go over to the weekly on J4X and see what they're up to today. Yeah, they threw them in a buy last week, and it's trying to do it again today. So, it's over here is trying to tell you that there's strength coming in even more than I talk about, really. I really don't believe it, but, because we're in that long weekly sell, and, just as you get comfortable sometimes, they slam you. So I guess the bigger question is, what would move, the dollar up more? And that would be obviously more increased interest rates. And maybe that's what it's trying to tell us, is that they're not coming. And at the same time, the daily has kept us protected in the sense that it's down at the lows of the last 3 weeks. It's been in a neutral position. You're not allowed to be shorted at this point because we're in a weekly sell and a daily buy now for, what is that, 3, 6, 9. This is the 10th day. So, and this is a Monday. So it's been like all of last week, all of the week before. And I think we had a holiday in there somewhere. So at this point, it really is trying. Oh, I think, matter of fact, what is this? What's the date? Oh, yes, yeah. So no holiday. That was the 4th of July I'm thinking of. So in the end result is that, it just has that look like they don't have the energy to really get it to go on the longer term view. But without a doubt, the shorter term day-to-day view, they are buying it. Or let's put it this way, they're not selling it. That's for sure. They're not selling it. And we got the 99s that we were looking for, heading towards the 98. So, all the action, when we went into this weekly sell up in the 103s, we saw it move itself down into the 99s, breaking that century mark that we talked about and joked about and laughed about and the whole bit, knowing that it would be broken. They would break it, And sure enough, they did. So at this point, let's see, let me just check to make sure nobody's trying to communicate with me on any level. Because I don't even see Robin this morning. Not even Robin's in here. I'm by my lonesome. Let's see. I don't see Dukascopy trying to communicate with me. And I don't even see Robin up on the tape. And let's see what else is there. So, that's where we're at on that situation. And I'm double checking Dukascopy too to see if anybody's saying anything to me, and I don't see it there either. So if I go like that to the Dukascopy host, and I still don't see anything. Okay, just making sure. I don't mind. I can just ramble here. That's fine with me. Oh, there's Robin. He's here. He's here. There you are. You hear me? Because I don't even see it.
I hear you.
Oh, good.
I'm on the chat line.
Yeah, I just saw you finally come up on the chat line. It's just not showing you that you're there. I mean, I see you on the chat line, but I don't see anywhere else. So
All right, I've been there.
I see Mr. Butler was a kind man as usual.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, all right. I'll bye-bye. Okay, so Robin confirms that I am not asleep and dreaming. Am I asleep and dreaming? All right. So from the dollar index, we will slide over to. Where will we slide over to? Find the right mouse. Let's go to. We'll go to the euro. Right there. There's the euro. And the weekly's been in a weekly sell now. That's kind of funny. That's in the weekly sell for 2 weeks there. And over on Chicago Quant, let's see what they're doing with that there. Huh. Where are you? Not there. Let's go to there. There we are. There's the euro. Still in the weekly buy for a second week, but you can see the fast has dropped underneath just the same way J4X has dropped underneath. That's why we have it as a blue line, because it follows our blue line more than it follows the slow algorithm up here. The blue line's a faster algorithm. And you can see we've been in a daily sell now for 4, 6, 8, 10 days, just like the dollar index. And that's exactly what we were always hoping for when they created the dollars, the euro. We were hoping it would be a competitive product against the dollar, and it is. Even with the low growth that's going on in Europe. I saw this morning they were interviewing the Prime Minister of Italy and yesterday on one of the shows here. I mean, Maria Bartiromo from Business News on Fox was doing that excellent interview, and she was talking about growth, and she sounded like Larry Kudlow, and how you grow out of these problems. How do you get out of these problems? Not by taxing more, but dropping taxes and dropping regulations and growing. And then at the same time, I think I heard Hungary. The economy's doing great there, very strong economy. They're trying to block him from being the president of the EU, I guess it is. It's really sad to watch bureaucrats hurt the general population. So in other words, only socialist points of view that have low growth is good. And it's like, oh, wow, that's really sad. So in other words, if you have a good idea, you've come up with something, and you're not allowed to try it because some person thinks that it's dumb, but it's legal, and it's been successful, but some bureaucrat thinks it's dumb. They don't let you do it. Isn't that amazing? It's like totalitarian, It's a fascist. The left is totally fascist. It's amazing. They can't get their act together whatsoever. They can't accept other people's points of view, especially when it has history of success. That's the worst part. It'd be one thing if it was like, oh man, that's a stupid idea and it's never worked. Stop doing it. With that classic Einstein thing of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, and same input, and you're expecting a different result, and it's like, what? Yeah. So I saw this morning. Let's see if I can find it. I think I was real surprised to see that. I mean, they're overtly trying to block a member state's president for being president of. And it just shows you. And then at the same time, they were interviewing the Italian prime minister, and she was talking about growth, and she's talking about possibly leaving the European Union, italics exit or something like that, Italian exit. And it's that same old story. Bureaucrats think they understand the world, when in fact, if they understood the world, they'd be in business for themselves and they wouldn't be bureaucrats. Let's see, where's it at? I want to see if I can find that article. I should have saved it. Let's see how EU is trying to block Hungarian president to never be president of the EU. It's like, what? Let's see, I'm still searching for it. It's here somewhere. There it is, right there. EU Advisory Committee details plan to exclude Hungary from EU presidency. And their economy's probably growing much more than the overall European Union. You would think that they would gravitate to his ideas, not run away from them. You know, that's the amazing part. So, but that's the bureaucrats, especially the socialist bureaucrats. They hate to hear anything. Ugh. Yeah, freedom of speech, forget about it. New ideas? No way. All right, so there's the euro. That's on the daily and the weekly. You can see it that way. You can see over here on Chicago on J4X. Let's put the daily up there. Let me just put this over there too. Remove one mouse off this desk. There it is. You can see, you know, the glide down 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's battling there. It's trying to go for 9. It's matching up pretty well to Chicago Quant because there's 3. Let's do it again. 3, 6, 9 on a 10th day of pressure. But you know, overall, look at it. It's hanging close to Friday's close, a little above it. Didn't take out the high, but it is above the close. And so, what else can we say about that? I guess, and they raised their rates on Friday. That was kind of, good. That's what you got that pop out of right there. They raised the rates. They did that. They're doing all the fundamental things that are necessary to change the course of things. Or let's say they're doing, that sounds too generous for the European Union since I just beat up on them. They're doing something right. Not a lot, but something. Better than pointing out the wrongs. And let the Hungarian president be president. Maybe you'll learn something. All right, from there we'll go to cable. There's cable right there. And there we are there, dealing with that. There's the cable. And you can see that pressure. It's popped in and out a few times. Let's put it up on J4X. It's on J4X. Let's put it up on Chicago Quant. Right there. Yeah, we went into a buy for a couple of days for this little pop right there. And now we're back down, but and you can't take the shorts anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The only thing you could have done is bought this buy. And there was a nice little pop there from what was the close there? Put my cheater glasses on. Let's see. So put you in the buy at 129, say, and it ran as high as almost 130, 129.96. So that's a nice move. And then it, if you had some stops in here somewhere, like you should, like the way Robin reminds all our clients, don't gamble, protect assets. And you can see here, you would have been, it's a winner chicken dinner. And this sell thing you don't take because, again, we're in that weekly buy right there. So it's that same music every time. Ooh, I see somebody else came into the house. Nice. Who knows? Maybe that's finally they're reflecting Robins here. Let's see now. Let me see. So from there, the British pound, the great British pound, will go over to the Swiss. There's the Swiss. I was a little surprised with the strength for the last couple of days, but it's okay. Because we're in that weekly sell now for going on an 8th week. You can see the fast stochastic has really moved up. And let's put it up over here on J4X right there. You see that same swinging around type of stuff. And you can see they're going towards the highs of the range again, just like we are with our blue line right there. That's the fast algorithm on this. You can see here the fast stochastic is moving up through the slow stochastic. Using those two against each other to give us a good clean direction. And then you can see here, what else we got going on? What's interesting is you can see the bulge. We started to take off here with the bulge, right? And then you can see Bollinger Bands finally joined in, and they broke down, did that bulge, and then we contracted back into here, and you can see Bollinger Bands, the best they could do is come up to the center line. But that daily buy there was where's that at? Okay, we're not on the cable. That's right. So it was a sell. So we've been in that sell out of it all. So each time we get the sell signal, like right there, it's a nice little winner, or like there, which is a nice little winner, that type of thing. It's interesting to watch the bulge. Our bulge, look at the Bollinger Band bulge versus our bulge. Isn't that interesting? We took off well before it took out all these highs, and then it finally started to do it, like taking out this high here, there. By then we were almost 3/4 of the way through. We were all the way up to here, and then it peaked right there. And in this case here, with the weekly sell, it was going to basically bottom on the Bollinger Band there, and start to turn up. And you can see over here, we went into the buy there for a couple of days, and then dropped right back into the sell. And now, yesterday or Friday, that is, we went back into the daily buy. Let's put that in there. There we are. So there is the Swiss. This. What I would like to say is the pillar of European currencies, but we've seen, we saw what happened with, I hear my volume too loud here, let me just lower it a little bit. But what we saw happen last year with the Credit Suisse situation, it really showed a lot of weakness, unfortunately, in the Swiss that I was not happy about. There we go. I lowered that volume. You still hear me the same. It's just I don't hear me. I always have. I'm signed in all the time on another computer just to make sure everything's working right. I'm seeing my mouses move, and I'm seeing changes, and hearing my voice, and the whole bit. But if anybody says, "Yeah, we hear you," give a thumbs up. I'll take that anytime, knowing that more people than myself and Robin are hearing us. All right, from the Swiss. We'll just look at the weekly too in that. There it is right there. And you see the weekly is trying to turn up, just like our fast over here is doing. And you can see here it's even trying to generate a green. We're a little far away from that at the moment. Look how far down we are. We're a little bit higher than last week, but overall there's a lot of pressure there. So we're assuming that they'll get that attitude again and start to gain against the dollar soon. We'll watch. We'll see. We'll see. We'll watch. Now from there we slide over to the yen. And right there's the yen. See, it went into the buy on Friday. Weekly is still weak, but look at the fast on this is the algorithm here. The fast algorithm smoothed by a stochastic. That's why we use the stochastic over here. Without it's going against the actual price, whereas ours is going against our algorithm, and the algorithm is going after the price in the end result. So it's it's like a nice layer of advancement, since our algorithm is so advanced over the actual action. So in this case here, you can see that strength is trying to turn up. The slow could care less. It's underneath the manifold, and it does not seem to want to reflect strength. Let's see. This has been a real choppy couple of weeks. We were in that long buy over here for a while, all the way back into, what was that? That was April. And then we stayed in that long weekly buy from, where did it start off with? In the April, in the 133, 34-ish area. Then we see it run all the way up to the 145-ish area. And then we get into a weekly sell this week. This particular week right here. Let's see, where's that? 7th, 8th, and then I guess it would be this week right there. The week of the 11th in the 141-ish area. At the same time, the daily gave you a good warning that you don't want to be long. You might want to be neutral or flat, one or the other. Take your choice. But one thing, it was screaming at us like, "Rah!" Don't be long. Even with the weekly right there over it, it's just not telling you to get short yet. That's all. So then we get into the sell. And we break underneath in here that week and go into the weekly sell in the 40 area here. And then, we put the line at the end of the week to show it to you. And you can see that, it didn't last long. It found a way to get into a daily buy and started to climb up again. But we were in a weekly sell, so you're not trading that now. So now you're not taking that long. Unless you're using binaries or options or using things that you won't get stopped out on. That's the whole idea here. I'll reiterate that or explain that again, and that is that we like the daily to be part of the weekly and the weekly part of the daily, and then you can get long. The odds are very high, 8.5 out of 10, that it's going to be accurate. And when it's not accurate, usually the second signal will be accurate. And if the second signal is not accurate, it's like the third. It's like the pass line on crap table. It will straighten it out, and it will give you a win and take care of all the losses. It's very rare when it doesn't. And so in this case here, here we've gone into the buy. Now last week we went back into the sell. And you can see the daily sell was cheering it on. And then on Friday we get a nice spike up, and now it's losing against the dollar there. And you can see we are trying to turn, and the fast has turned up too at the same time. That's at that dashed line there, blue dashed line that matches up to that line right there. All right. So from there, we go from the yen. We dance our way over to... Oh, that's the weekly. Let's show you the daily too. Right there. That daily's doing that same thing. It's trying to join in today. Chicago Quant obviously went into the buy on Friday. We'll see what this is all about, since we are in a weekly sell again. Talk about fluctuations. And again, we remind traders that follow our webinar and our mathematics for the last decade. And that is, this particular time of the year is the worst of our math. This is where we are in 8.5 out of 10. In other words, it's matter of fact, we go into like the 8.1, 8.2, and then obviously the rest of the year, away from this time period of the last week and a half to 2 weeks of July and the first 2 weeks of August, that 3.5 week, 4 week period is a sloppy period normally. Ever since quantitative easing, it seems to have shrunk down, whereas it used to be the middle of July, going into the third week of August before QE, because we've been doing this for almost 50 years now, 40 some odd years. So, between Robin and I, we've been doing this almost 100 years. All right. So from there we go to our favorite product to watch. Unfortunately not to hold on to. The Turkish lira. I saw that this morning, that it took out yesterday's high, but did not take out Thursday's high. Interesting. It's still in that daily sell for like the last week and a half, but it's still holding on pretty firm here on the weekly. It doesn't seem to care. It's now the slow is broken underneath the manifold. And the zero line, there's the zero line right there. What am I seeing up on the screen? I see some lines on the screen I'm confused about. I'm not sure what that's all about, but let's make the zero line thicker or something like that. Because I'm seeing lines on the screen that are emphasized much more. There we go. Does that do it? Maybe if I make it thicker. Or do this, we'll make it like a yellow line or something like that. There we are. Now you can see it even better. There's the zero line. It's holding up pretty well. It's just playing with the manifolds at this point, nothing more. Even the fast is just starting to break down the last 2 weeks underneath the histogram of the slow, but still holding on, not letting go. Let's put it up over on J4X. Right there. You see, 3, 4, 5 going on 6 days in a sell. Chicago Quant is basically the same thing, going on its 8th day of the sell. What else can we say? That they're both happy about that, aren't they? And you can see here the daily is trying to make its little bounce, but ours is just that's the daily, and ours is underneath and saying no, not yet. You need a green hinky yashki here, and you got the purple line above the slow. So it's looking promising. And then let's see, where else are we? And so that's the whole story there when it comes to the daily. And we'll take a look at it on the weekly on J4X, since you can already see it on Chicago Quant. Right there. Wow. Okay, and there's the weekly, and you can see all that strength. There's over here, we have on the 19th of this month, we had a high of 31.57. And over here, they're only reflecting a high of 30.39, which is kind of curious. But that's the way it goes. And you see it right there again on the daily. We were looking for a 31ish, and they gave it to us. It was kind of neat. And now we're expecting it to be just sloppy and going sideways with no real hunger. Either way, we're seeing some positive things coming out of Turkey economically. So that would be really nice if they could stop what they've been doing to make it go from 1 to 31 and start going back down into the 20s. That would be nice. Wouldn't a 15 look good, huh? I would love to see a 15 euro Turkish lira. All right. So far, it doesn't look like there's any clear signs of that, but one thing is for sure. They're starting to think that maybe doing the same policy over and over again is going to get a different conclusion. And surprise, 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 it does not. All right, from there we go over to the major brick. We can't wait for the meeting on August 22nd. The BRIC gets together. We'll see if if Mexico is included into the BRIC. That would be really great. I would love to see the BRICS pick up Mexican, because that is like the strongest currency. That would be the strongest currency, and then the South African rand would be number 2. Having a bite of my biscuit with my tea. All right. Let's see. So there's the daily. We're at the lows of 5 years or 6 years or 7, something like that. Let's put it up over on J4X. There we are. There we go. Yeah, when's the last time we were down here? Whew. Looks like back in 17. Yeah. Back in 17. So that's like a 6-year high, high against the dollar. Yeah, right as Mr. Trump took office. Interesting. You see, at one point, it was during the Obama years. The peso was down. excuse me, around the 9s. Not sure what that's all about, but I guess their economy is growing somewhere along the line. There's the daily. And let's bring that down. There we go. So you got all this selling going on. And in this case here, they're selling dollars. They're not selling Mexican peso. Remember, as the peso goes down, it's gaining against the dollar. Less peso per dollar. All right, and from there, we go over to the South African rand. That is the second largest brick. And you see there, the fast is moving fast and steadily up. Gave us a green daily buy on Friday. And now it's still in the buy, but it's giving us a red. So, it's just chopping around a little bit there. Let's get it up on Chicano Quant. Right. Czar. Where are you, Czar? Huh. There it is. And you can see there, 3 days in a buy. And it's basically lower. It's in a weekly sell, so you can't take the buy. Now what we do is we go over and look at... there's Czar there. Let's put the gold contract, or spot gold, up on the screen. There we are. And you can see there's pushing into the buy. Gold is down in the 65 area. They did start to lift it on Friday, but it's really choked off. Let's go over to Chicago Quant and take a look at gold. Okay, and there is gold right there. You see they sold it down on Thursday, lifted it back up on Friday, and now it's a little bit higher today than it was on Friday. It's trading at 2002 on the futures contract, and on the spot, remember, futures contract is December contract now. So notice if I pulled out the August contract, the August contract would be almost the same price as you see on the spot of like 1964. Let's just show you that real quick. We'll be quick like a bunny. Quick like a bunny. There you are. As you can see there you go. Last trade in August gold is $1,965. Maybe it'll make it a tick difference. There's only 597 contracts trading with 9,800 in open interest. And you can see September contract, which is small, 278. And then October is 2,500 contracts with 32,000 open interest. But here the front month now is December. See it with trading up around 2005, and it has 65,000 contracts open interest. I'm sorry, no, that's volume, and it has almost 377,000 open interest. So that's where the real action is. So what that price differential is that the cost of carry. Also, they really don't discount the back months. They do the opposite. They put premium into the back months since they can't be physically exercised directly into gold. It must, makes it easier for them to put premiums into it. So, like all the contracts up until October are trading in over $2,000. And matter of fact, the December contract of this year is 205 almost. The December contract of next year is $108 higher, basically, at 2,112. And then the following year, it's $2,100.78, basically at the all-time highs. And the following year is at all-time highs at 2,217. So they put a lot of premium in the back months because they can't be exercised. If they didn't, they would probably, I don't know what they would do. It's so weird the way it's exercising, delivering. It's just not the same as it used to be. The vaults are full of certificates that say we owe you gold. Whereas before 2008, the quantitative easing, there was almost for every ounce traded at the exchange or open interest was equal to the amount of gold in the vault itself, physical gold. Now it's just full of lots of certificates. And the amount of gold in there is nowhere near the amount that trades every day. Another bite of the biscuit for the fun of it, since no one's asking me any questions. All right, now from there, let's go check out the Canadian. And then, too bad the Canadian's not a brick also. We'd go Canadian, then ZAR, and then ZAR to, all the commodities. So let's get rid of that. Let's see, do we have that right? Yep, we do. So we'll go like that. That's gone. Now let's put up Canadian. There's Canadian. You see, Canadian, with the way oil's been rising, it's kind of surprising that we're seeing Canadian rise too. In other words, lose against the dollar. It has been somewhat of a surprise. But that's, this only has like a 65-70% correlation. So, used to be more, but ever since the inflation kicked out, totally different game, And then when we there's gold right there, you can see, well, I guess, in many ways, it's doing, this broad 10-day scale. Gold is going down in value, and what you have here is, this is going up in value. In other words, it's losing against the dollar is gaining against it. So kind of same matching up to the trend. But then when we go and look at, right there, we look at gold here, you can see the same situation. Trend was down, and it goes up and challenges the high, and then drops again, and now it's trying to make a move again towards the high. I guess you can honestly say that the Canadian does look like this in reverse, so that's not too bad. And let's put it back up on there, and you can see it by looking at J4X. There. So it's, this thing has found a way to try to climb higher, because again, it's oil is not oil. I'm sorry. What did I show? Gold? That's the wrong thing to follow. I'm sorry. That's what doesn't make any sense there. I'm trying to figure out why it looked reversed to me. Let's put oil in there. Not gold. Right there. There's light sweet. There. Oil's been running. It's gone from the low 70s to now the very, very low 80s. So it's been in an upwardly trend. And isn't that interesting that gold and Canadian are looking more together in many ways, which is really odd. Usually we look at, after we go from the South African Rand, we slide over to the Canadian, and the Canadian usually matches up to the oil contract. In this case here, you see that Canadian right there has drifted a little bit more and more and more up, and gold has been drifting down, which is classic for South African Rand. In other words, but not for Canadian. And so it's really odd. And when looking at the one particular commodity that usually matches the Canadian, gold seems to match it better than oil of late, which I'm not sure what that's all about. But it is what it is. All right, from there, another sip of the tea, since no one's asking any questions. All right. We're going to have another bite of the biscuit, too. All right. Now, from there, we go over to either one. We go to the, I guess you could say we go to the energies. I'll put it up over here. Well, let me do this to might as well get rid of that. Because I just don't think anybody's going to ask. There we go. That's gone. Now, let's take a look at, since we were looking at energies, let's take a look at them. And there is the futures contract, as we've talked about over here, like what you're looking at on J4X. You can see it's trading at 81.58 at the moment, you know, towards the highs of the day and the highs of the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks. That was the last time it was up there. Back in April, we were in that area. April, yeah. So we're banging against the top of the range. So now we go and look at the back month with basically front month 81.60. Let's see what the November contract looks like. 80.70. So it's 90-cent discount to it. So the demand obviously is there's a lot of pressure to deliver to the refineries. So it's starting to pick up more and more. In other words, it's outperforming the back months. And when we see that there's not a lot of demand, we see that the back months carry a premium. And when there is a lot of demand, the front months carry the premium. And so there's the crude November. And you can see we've been in the weekly buy since the 67 area. So, it's let's see, there's 26th, 30th. Okay, so yeah. So basically the 70 area, then made a drop, climbed up, made a drop, climbed up, made a drop, climbed up in that weekly buy. And the daily buys were nice winners each time, giving you a chance to make some do-re-mi. All right, now from there, we're going to throw Brent up on J4X because we can. Right there. I wonder if we can get that on our new interactive platform. We have an interactive platform now instead of just, you don't have to look at it in just picture form. You can actually go back and refresh it and look at what's going on. I bet they have Brent. Let me see if they have Brent. That would be fun to put up on there. Let's see, where am I at? What am I looking for here? There we are. Brent. North Sea. Brent. Yeah, there we go. BZF. Let's see. Brent crude oil last day. Future. Okay. What is that one? Huh. Yeah, so B2 BZT. Okay. Let's see if we can get that up on there. Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to add it. So let's add it first, and then we'll put it up on there. And you'll actually see what it looks like through the eyes of Chicago Quant. Now that we have this interactive system. That's what we should call it. It's not live as much as it's interactive. You know, Robin? Interactive. An interactive system now. Let's see. Where do I go here? Oh, I know where I go. Right there. And let's put ticker. And then add to me. And it is BZT. BZT. Is that right? Yep. BZT equals F. All right. Let's see what happens there. close that. Bingo. And let's go over here and see what it looks like. Trading. There we are. There she blows. And there she is. Oh, you can see it's in that daily sell for... Wow, that's really wild, isn't it? Why is that in a daily sell like that? Because crude oil is not in a daily sell, is it? No, it's been in a daily buy. Texas crude is in a daily buy. And let me see if we can do this too. Let's put that up on the screen and see what crude oil looks like. There's October crude. See which one's that? Yeah, see it's in the buy. So West Texas Intermediate's been in the buy. Right there, just like our work is in a buy. Matter of fact, let's shrink them down a little bit and put them side by side. There. And so you can see both of them are doing that buy thing. You can see the buy thing going on right there. The weekly, been in a weekly buy for a bunch of weeks. That was kind of curious. I saw that where I was looking at that on there, how it was underneath pressure on ours. You know, it means that, you know, and I trust, I'll tell you, I'm trusting this way more and sometimes than this. Especially because I know that it has cleaner data. Now, from there, let's take a look at, let's see where we go. We'll get that off the screen. Oh no, we want to take a look at Brent again. So let's go look at Brent. There's Brent. We get the whole page so we can get a better flavor for it. And it's in a weekly sell for 2 weeks. Let's see what it shows over here. There you are. Oh, weekly's been in a buy for 5 weeks. I'm a little curious why it's reflecting that, you know, all that weakness. Those numbers don't look. Something looks wacko on that too, doesn't it? Look at that. We might have to put the actual. Let me see if I can put the actual contract into it. I'm not even sure what the symbol is. That's ICE, isn't it? So how do we get... Oh, you know what? If we go and look at the softs, we get the softs in that now, right? Yeah, so let's try this. Which soft do we see? We see coffee, right? And cotton. Let's see what CT looks like. Let's do it this way. Coffee. EE. And then we could say coffee, say December. There it is. So it's NYB. Alright, so let's try this. Brent BTZ. Is that December? Oh, maybe that's December. Maybe they're reflecting December. Let's see if we'll do this. We'll put 23 in there. Point NY. What was it? NY. Let's try that again. Because that seems to be odd and curious. So it's just a symbol problem. So we go with crude oil BZT. Oh, okay, and we go 23 point. No, it doesn't do that, does it? That's interesting. BZT. See, so U September is around, so it'd be U. There it is. There we are. Okay, now let's. Where's that at? Show us the chart. Okay, NYM. So let's try fixing that. Anybody want to see anything? I'll stop doing my research right here and trying to get this up, and we'll go look at it. But if not, I'll just keep on trying to get this right. So let's go in there and find it. Now we go like that. There we are. Ticker symbols. Where's it at? NY. There it is. So let's do this. Let's edit it. And we'll put U 23 dot NYM. Okay, let's see how that goes. It's not giving me, it's giving me something else weird. Let's see. Let's do this. See if it'll come up on the screen. Nah, it's not coming up for that. That's interesting. Wonder if I did BZ. How about if I do BZU23 NYM? Let's try that. Right there. Edit ticker. Let's see if that does it now. Refresh. Right there. Okay, there you go. That did it. That makes more sense. There you go. Now you can see, and we've been in a weekly buy all the way back into here, just like we have in the oil contract in New York with Light Sweet. So that fixes that. That's good. Remember, Robin, you know, we can start talking about the idea we can do the softs now with our math. So, all right. Matter of fact, when I after the webinar, I'll put them all up on your platform for you. All right. So from there, let's see what else we got. Oh, we're running out of time, so let's quickly take a look at. We sold back months. Let's see what natural gas looks like. We'll just give quick views of everything now. Where's natural gas? Nat gas. There's dollar. Light Sweet. There's nat gas. $2.62. Let's check out. Hey, I wonder if wouldn't it be great if we could get a European natural gas through the system? I don't have to. I'm going to start looking for that too at the same time. Let's minimize that. Gone. Now let's look at natural gas. Right there. And oh, now I'm really excited. European natural gas. Let's see what it says. European natural gas. Recent offerings, buying opportunities. No. European. Nothing. European gas, maybe. Maybe they don't call it natural over there. There we are. Let's see. Recent, nope. Weakness, maintenance, buying, nope, nope. Britain, pile, output, EU, banking, limp repairs, nope. Oil and gas. Let's see what watch list. Ooh, let's see what this is. Let's see. Nah, this is the stocks. All right, traders, we're out of here. We will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel. So this is Doc from North America saying, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, later, traders.